Hi, my name is Mark Brunton. I'm the Operations Section Chief for Incident Management Team 3, and we are in the CZU Lightning Complex. I'll give you a quick brief as to what's transpired today. Throughout the day, we had really great success based on the weather that we experienced, even with the red flag warning in place and the upcoming weather throughout the rest of the weekend. It did mitigate some of the fire operation and really lay down the fire quite a bit for us to jump in and get a lot of really good work done. So starting in our north zone part of the fire, starting over in branch 1, the fire is really, some areas self-extinguished in some of the light grassy fuels and that sort of thing. As we worked around, some of it is hung up in some of the rougher terrain, but is not progressing further and forward towards the communities of Pescadero or La Honda or Loma Mar. So that's really good news for those communities. As we keep working down into Division Gulf and Kilo, we have a really good line established there that really helps put a damper on any forward fire spread and protects the fire spread into Santa Clara County. So that's really good news for us in that area. And moving down into the Highway 9 corridor. The Highway 9 corridor has always been a challenge for us. There's a number of communities on that corridor, everything from Boulder Creek to Ben Lomond and down into Felton. Fire is really hung up onto the ridge top, has not made significant forward progress into those communities. Throughout the day, because of that, we were able to construct a lot of direct line, dozer line, and hand line throughout this area, keeping the fire at very least into check, if not slowing significantly that progress, and it gives us a good foothold to continue our suppression operations in those areas. The line is continuing to be constructed. It's a lot of really rough terrain, a lot of really heavy fuels, and with that, a little slow going, especially with our limited resources between the hand crews and dozers. But whatever little we have, they have been working diligently to put in that line in those areas, protecting those communities. So we're going to continue to do so, continue to have resources working in those areas, doing a lot of patrol within the urbanized areas and in the areas with the structures, as well as the line construction up on the hillside. Moving down past Felton, Felton's looking really good. We only had that one spot fire a couple days ago, which we were able to pick up. We've been very diligent watching that, along with the Felton Fire Department helping us there. Moving down into the south, which is a real concern with the southern progress of the fire, moving into the community of Santa Cruz. We were able to establish this control line that ran between Highway 1 and Highway 9 a couple days ago. About a 4-blade wide dozer line that gives us a really good catcher's mitt and a fire break to provide protection for that community, as well as the UC campus. And then over the past day, another secondary control line has been established just above that, and with that, it ties in and gives us a nice secondary line. So if the fire were to somehow get past that line, we have a secondary line to catch it, so we're feeling very confident in that. They're firing up a small burning operation within that area this evening, and once that's completed, that'll give us a very solid, deep control line to help stop any forward spread to the south and threat to those communities. So we're feeling very comfortable with the protection of the UC campus as well as the city of Santa Cruz. Along the coast, we have the community of Davenport, and that still has fire well up above it, but we have control lines around that. The community is safe at this point in time, and we anticipate that once we get some additional resources, because of the limited resources, we've had to prioritize more on the eastern part of the fire. That was based on fire conditions that we had, weather conditions, the fuels, and the greater population area. We had to select that as our primary area that we wanted to put some initial control lines in, but we'll soon be moving back over to the coast to button that up and hopefully make safe that community, as well as continue to work up the coastline where the fuels aren't as thick. They're easy to work in. Some of that has self-extinguished in the lighter fuels because of the fuels being lighter and the weather helping mitigate with that coastal influence. So that's really good there, and then we'll just simply have to go in, put control line around it to make sure that there will be absolutely no more progress of that fire. In the community of Bonnie Doon, up on the ridge, Empire Grade Road, that has been a challenge for us throughout. A lot of structures scattered among some very heavy fuels in there. Unfortunately, a lot of those structures really didn't have very good defensible space, so that made it a challenge for us to have any sort of good control efforts throughout. With the fire conditions as extreme as they were this past week, we had a lot of spotting issues, and very hard to put a very direct control line around any of that fire. So the fire was in and amongst a lot of the structures. So it's a painstaking effort to get in there, find where the fire is, because again, the smoky conditions have been so bad that it's been really hard for us to even get in there and take a look from the ground, and more importantly for us to do a good reconnaissance from the air to see exactly where those hot spots are. So we've had to painstakingly go through, search that out, and take care of those issues, extinguish those fires. We haven't experienced any structure loss today, so that's a really positive thing because we have had structure loss. The fire has taken structures at variety throughout the week, but the fire hasn't taken any structures as of today, so we're feeling very fortunate with that. A lot of good success and a big win there. For aircraft, today the air cleared for the first time for the most part of the fire, so it was the first time we were able to get to see a vast majority, not all of it, but a vast majority of the fire, because the air did clear out very well for us due to the weather conditions, albeit those weather conditions, like we said, have been a concern to us, but that is the positive side of it. It did clear the air. We were able to fly our rotor wing, our helicopters in there for water dropping. We were able to really hit not only this area over here in Branch 1 that we've been able to fly into, but we were actually able to get in a lot of operations down to the south. And that was mainly to support the burnout operation that we were doing there. So that really made it safe for our firefighters to pull that operation off, especially with the limited resources on the ground. So that worked extremely well, as well as some areas up here in Branch 2. The first time we've been able to fly some rotorcraft in there and take care of that, as well as the Bonnie Doon area. So again, we have 6 water dropping helicopters available to us. We've used all 6 of them today, all day long. Fixed wing aircraft were not available to us, so we weren't able to employ our fixed wing aircraft, our air tankers, if you will. Overall, it's been a really successful day. A lot of good hard work done by the firefighters on the ground, firefighters in the air, and been a good big win for us. The best day we've had so far on this fire. With the coming weather, we're vigilant. We're ready for any adverse fire conditions based on this weather, the potential lightning and so forth. We have contingency plans in place to take care of if we do get any lightning strikes around or outside the fire perimeter, jump on those, keep those small, extinguish those, and then be able to get back to the main firefight. And if once we get past this weekend without any significant adverse conditions to the fire or change in the fire, then I see a really good week ahead of us with the upcoming weather conditions that were forecasted. And I think we're really going to have a really good week ahead of us to help put this fire away and put it to bed and be done with it.